Okay, Greg, so you've had a week with a new manager. What's it been like?
Yeah, it's been different. Obviously, when a manager goes out and a new one comes in, things are always bound to change. So it's just been about, well, for the lads who've had him before, welcoming him back, and the lads who've not had him, getting used to him and how he wants to play.
And of course, the focus is on the weekend and the long trip to Plymouth and another tough game.
Yeah, of course. You know, every game's massively important now, and we've got to be focused regardless whether the trip's down the road, playing at home, or obviously the trips are a bit further like Plymouth. So just trying to stay focused and get something out of the game, go into the game being positive.
When you look back on that point against Ipswich, how do you see it? Because it was, all right, 1-0 up with a few minutes to go, but you were under the cosh, weren't you?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that it's one of them. Probably an unfair scoreline would be 1-0, but when you are 1-0 up, you do want to try and keep that clean sheet and see the game out. You know, because we can, guarantee that other teams have had luck against us where they probably shouldn't have got points that they've got. So you wanted to sort of maybe ride your luck, so to speak, and make sure that we got 3 points. We didn't manage to do that, but yeah, coming out with a point against a side like Ipswich, we were pleased with.
And when you look back now, I think that's 3 home games in a row which have ended in 1-1 draws and ifs and buts and everything, but there could have been a lot more points there, couldn't there?
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, like I said, with regards to the luck and stuff, you look at Bolton, a bit of bad luck there. You look at Gillingham, bad luck there, do you know what I mean? And so, taking the point from Ipswich was probably a bit more sort of evening out with regards to the luck that we had. But yeah, definitely need to start seeing out games a little bit more. I think that, especially if we go ahead.
And with the situation as it is at the bottom of the table, still no team looks to be pulling away, do they? I mean, Fleetwood lost in midweek. Things still stay tight, don't they?
Yeah, they do. You know, it's one thing when the games are all finished, you want to go and look and see how the other teams did. When the league table isn't changing, it obviously is good or okay for the teams that are involved in it, but it's definitely not going to stay that way, and we're very aware of that. So it's important that when the table doesn't change, we're the people who drag ourselves out of it.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? Because tricky game at the weekend and then another tricky one midweek against Bolton. What you want to make sure is that after those 2 tricky games, you're still at least in touch and preferably a bit higher up.
Yeah, of course. You know, I think there's a lot of tricky games coming up, but like I said, the other teams have to play those games as well. So it is majorly important that if we can get through those without taking something from it, and hopefully, if the table stays the way it's been, we can hopefully rise through the ranks. But it's important we focus on the games firsthand.
And what you could really do with is a couple of back-to-back wins, isn't it? Because the points are okay, but it will make an enormous difference if you could string just a couple of back-to-back wins.
Yeah, massively. Any team that's down the bottom that's winning will rise pretty quickly. 6 points is huge if you look at the table. So yeah, back-to-back wins would be massive, and that's what we're aiming for.
So what's the mood like in the camp? Lots of talk last week when the new manager came in that it was like a mini league now, a mini season with sort of 12, 11 games left. Is that how you see it?
I'd say so. I mean, obviously, it's been a fast turnaround. So, it's only been a week, and the mood is kind of just to focus on the games. I guess that, I don't know. I've never been a massive fan of looking at it in a mini league. The important thing is to take every game as it is. The season behind us has happened, and there's been, for me, performances in there where you can take heed from and look and go, okay, we did well against this team last time we played out. For example, I look at Plymouth. We gave them a good game. Potentially could have got the points in that game. So that's something that I look at to take forward into the next games. So yeah, obviously it is a mini league with regards to the bottom teams, but it's just all about getting as many points as possible.
I think that's one thing you can definitely say, isn't it, that since Christmas, on the whole, with a few exceptions, performances have improved, haven't they?
Yeah, I'd say so. Definitely say around Christmas time, just beforehand, there was a few games we didn't have control of. So it's important that we, since then, I think we have had more control over the games, and like I said, been maybe potentially unlucky in front of goal, maybe in front of our own goal as well. So it's good for us to to look at those performances and say, okay, we were dominant, and try and emulate that and carry that on.